Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome to the Treasures You podcast, a space where healing is taking place, a space where we are realigning and we are remembering ourselves. Yes, beautiful ones. So, welcome. I welcome you all because let me just share this with you. Humanity has experienced so many tragedies, so many pains and traumas that at times it is difficult for humanity, and I'm speaking collectively, that's why I say humanity. It is difficult for us to let our guard down, to lighten up, to be gentle, to be easy because of the life journey, dear ones. Yes, at times it can get the best of us. But in this space, beautiful ones, this is a space of healing. It is a space of acknowledging, seeing, feeling, hearing, because as I said, this life journey that all of us is experiencing, it can just continue to keep us away from ourselves. Which, when I say that, how can that be possible? Well, depending on your perception, depending on what you believe, this is how all of it takes place. Yeah, it is. It is how it is possible because everything is possible within the scope of our realities. Yes, it is. So we are bridging that gap into our current realities from our past. Yes, just double checking myself. So, yes, we are bridging the gap of our past into our current reality. So, what does that mean? Well, I'm sort of piggybacking, or yeah, piggyback. I'm making up sayings. I'm piggybacking from a current podcast that I did. So we are bridging this gap from many lifetimes. So let me just share this with you, dear ones. This current reality that we are all witnessing, this is the most current one. So whatever you may be hanging on to, now when I say hanging on, I mean the things that continue to show up, they just continuously show up in your life. Now, for most of us who are not aware, for most of us who are not doing the inner work, this will simply go over your head. This will simply it will not affect you. As I said, it will go over your head because you're not doing the inner work. No, you're still in the physical 3D reality, which, yes, we are in it. But at the same time, dear ones, we have a undercurrent of stories playing in the background. And depending on what continues to show up for you, that's relevant. It really is. I'm here to tell you that. That's what our soul is trying to get your attention. If it continues to show up. It has relevance. Yeah, it does. And it doesn't matter what it is. If it's something of trauma, for sure, we need to address it because you do not want to continue carrying trauma in your current reality. No, this is why it continues to show up for you. Nothing is a mistake. Remember that, dear ones. So when you are a part of these podcasts, as I said, it's healing because we are speaking about these parts of ourselves that we neglect every day, that we don't even think exist. Yes, dear ones, we are walking around, okay? We are walking around with many lifetimes within us. And at times, as I said, something from a lifetime or this current lifetime, it will surface. It will surface and it will continue to surface. Okay, resurface. It will continue to just keep coming up until you face it. And a lot of these things are traumas, but not all of them are. Okay, not all of them are. It just depends on how much of the inner work you did. Yes, so I believe I shared, I know I did put a link about Signature of the Soul. If anybody is interested in having that type of session done, that's where it's a one-to-one session where you and we have a session where we can go back depending on what your soul has allowed for you to see. Yeah, everything has to be in alignment. Everything has to be with your free will, right? So this session goes back to your galactic beginnings, helping you to understand this current reality, helping you to understand your mission, helping you to understand what star you came from, okay, your signature rhythm, your theme of life. These things are very significant in doing the inner work. And let me share with you, dear ones, the inner work is what I'm all about because I know from my own surfacing and resurfacing of myself doing the inner work. When we all can connect to those parts of ourselves, it helps you to understand who you are. Yes, it really does. It bridges the gap. And because we are in a new cycle of new beginnings, where many things are in alignment for all of humanity. This is why we get to reinvent ourselves. We get to start fresh and new. And we can add in this new beginning whatever we want to add. Because what? We are the co-creators, creating with that higher God essence, that creator essence that is us. Yes, beautiful ones. Yes, dear ones. I will never get tired of sharing this information because as I like to just share with everybody, and you do notice the powers that be do not want you to know these things. Because when you know these things, game over, honey. Game over. Just like in the Matrix. You are the one. Yes, you are Neo. Okay? For those who watched The Matrix, and for those who didn't watch The Matrix, I suggest you watch it because it will bring to the surface more of understandings for you. Yeah, because this whole life journey is about us rediscovering, uncovering, aligning, and remembering. Yes, it is. So before we continue, let us close our eyes right now. Visualize your heart beating and begin to consciously breathe your life force, because every soul that has tuned in to the Treasures You podcast, you are a part of this universal healing. Whatever healing that is needed for each person, it will be done. Just as simple as that. Because we have tuned in to this space of healing, this space of aligning, this space of remembering. We are remembering ourselves, bridging the gap, the past realities into this current one. And we are allowing for our soul to continue guiding us, being able to see with enlightened eyes the truth, abandoning the falsehoods, the illusions, the projections that humanity has created for itself, because at times we are unconscious. It is a normal thing. It is nothing to worry about. It is nothing to be concerned about, because in this healing space, we are bringing things into alignment so we can heal everything that needs to be healed with tender, loving care. We are having grace for ourselves. We are learning that we are the ancient ones that has brought the wisdom with us through our essence. Everything about our essence is showing another person our wisdom. And we are allowing as well for our clear audience so we can retrieve the intuitive guidance, being able to hear the whispers of wisdom, bringing it all together, trusting in our power and knowing that all is well. So it is, thy will is done. You can open your eyes. Yes, beautiful ones. So we are in this healing space, remembering ourselves, bridging that gap. Yes, beautiful ones, we are the bridge. So when you can acknowledge that you are the bridge, are you willing to walk over that bridge to that higher version of yourself that is guiding you right now through your soul? Yes, this goes for everybody. You are being guided right now. You are learning that whatever comes to the surface right now in this new beginning, we are writing it down so you can address it and you can bring it to your awareness And when you do bring it to your awareness, it's no longer a pain, it's no longer a trauma, because you just brought conscious awareness to whatever keeps resurfacing. This is how we bridge the gap. We do not deny, we do not hide, we do not shrink, we address it. Because 9 times out of 10, dear ones, it is most certainly a misunderstanding. It is something that you do not know. It is something that you are unaware of. So when we, as co-creators of our reality, us being the presence, us being the vastness, when we address such things, we bring it into awareness. We bring it into our conscious awareness, and it no longer exists. You see what I'm saying? It no longer exists. Because the only thing that exists is the present moment. All right, beautiful ones, are you catching what I'm saying? So right now in this video, this is all that matters right now. This is it. So when you make the space, as we're doing, you are making space for more presence. Because this is how we heal. And this is instant healing. Yeah, I know a part of the collective doesn't believe what I just said about instant. But that's the power of us. Yes, that is the power of us when you are present. Okay? When you are 100% present, everything from the past, it doesn't exist. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why it is so crucial, so beneficial for us to be present. Yes. Because in the past, oh yeah, I'm offender number 1 for this. In the past, our thoughts have been scattered in the past, part in the present, and then some in the future. So do you hear what I'm saying? You're not 100% in the present. You're in 3 different locations. And yes, that is possible because we are masters at doing that. We're unaware that we're doing that. But in this podcast, I'm bringing this to your awareness because this is my mission. My mission is to help every soul to be present, to help you heal those past traumas that we think, oh, I can't shake this. I can't get rid of it. Yes, you can. You're doing it right now by being present in this podcast. And the more that you show up to these sessions, you are healing yourself. Yes, you are healing traumas from eons ago, from your lineage, from your family tree. Yes, within your DNA. Because, for one, we are energy. We are a living, breathing library. All of the history, all of the technology, all of the information resides within us. Yes. This is why, dear ones, the powers that be do not want you to know this. Because when you do know this, you're in your power. You begin to start relieving yourself from such illnesses, yes, that we made up. And the reason why we made these illnesses up is because we didn't know who we were. Okay? We did not know who and what we were. We got pieces of ourselves. Yes. We would get deja vu. You would probably get some visions. I know I have. But when you don't completely know the power, the extent of your power, the extent of where you come from. And I just did a video the other day about us being a part of the divine heritage. We all come from a divine heritage, which is royal. Yeah, this is what my team has told me about all of us. We are all royal because we come from the Creator, the Most High. Yes. So every story, dear ones, there's bits of truth in the stories, but it's not the complete story. It's been twisted. Yes, twisted, dear ones, to somehow manipulate, dominate, control, keep you in a limitation of thinking that you're not worth certain things. These are all illusions, okay? Every bit of them are illusions. So, in this podcast, as I said, we are bridging the gap of those past experiences, bringing the current wisdom into this new beginning. So, when we do that, guess what happens? Those old traumatic pains and traumas and falsehoods and projections, they no longer exist. This, my dears, is what exists right here, right now. This is what exists. Nothing more, nothing less. You see me speaking? This is what exists. If you have tuned in and you're listening, this is what exists. So when I'm speaking and you're paying attention and you are present, you are now, right now, dear ones, receiving information that is healing you from past lifetimes. Yes, in a lot of the lifetimes, we are unaware and unknown. Now, I'm going to share a quick story because you're looking at a person that has retrieved information about myself. I retrieved a lot of information about myself. This is why I can speak to you on this podcast and say what I'm saying, because I am sharing with you some of my personal experiences and some experiences from clients that I have helped in the past. Yes. And that's why I can laugh too at a lot of everything, because it's laughable. And the first thing I want to share, which I have shared in many videos, is that everything is us. Okay? We're afraid of ourselves. We're afraid of the dark, right? We're afraid of what? I know we're afraid of the dark, but guess what? The darkness is us. Now, when I say the darkness is us, don't allow your human brain, that we have a program that's inserted in our mind that says, oh, the darkness is terrible, it's bad, it's horrible, we all have that. Yes, we do. But the darkness that I'm speaking of is that creative darkness. Now, of course, there is darkness that is opposite of what your true nature is. Remember, we encompass everything. But in this podcast, we are speaking of things that are of relevance. Yes, relevance. Things that are right now being embedded within your cells. You are now retrieving new, fresh information. Yes, within your mind, within your body. Yes, within your emotions. These words are helping to soothe your emotional body, your physical body. Yes, because this is what this healing space was intended to do. Yes. So, everything that we have been taught, as I love to tell everyone, we need to elevate that. I'm not saying to forget it, but just whatever you have learned that you have resistance about, that you have second thoughts about, we are adding to that. We are adding awareness. So anytime you add awareness to anything, guess what happens? You dismantle the falseness, the illusion. Yes, because you brought awareness to it. And this is what it's all about, dear ones. This is why it's very beneficial to tune in to the Treasures You podcast, because it is a space where you are aware, you are present, you are conscious, and that is healing. You are not allowing yourself to jump back to those past experiences that said you weren't worthy, you weren't smart enough, you weren't whatever. I'm just trying to think of so many things that we come up in our mind. But the only reason why we come up with these things in our mind is because we don't know who and what we are. That's essentially what it is. We know parts, oh yeah, but it's like we're trying to figure it out. So here we put it all together. This is why I go back and I talk about the ancient ones. I talk about our cosmic beginnings. I talk about different stars. I talk about all of that because guess what? This is what we are. And it is not talked about. As a matter of fact, in some of our, or no, I'm not going to say some, in our religious communities, let's just face it, in some of our spiritual communities too, let's just face it, let's just put it all out there. In both of these arenas, they don't want you to know that you're the power. Now, I'm not going to say everybody. I'm going to say, there's some people within, but I do know in the religious community, for sure, you have to follow their doctrine. Yeah, you have to follow their doctrine. How does that sound? Does that resonate with you? You have to follow their doctrine. Now, when I say their doctrine, I'm not speaking the doctrine of God. I'm speaking man's doctrine. Okay? So, God created all of us with a mind. God created all of us with a beautiful heart. God created us with intelligence. Yes, intelligence. And God wanted all of us to use our intelligence. God did not want us to follow man's doctrine, because man's doctrine is suiting certain people. Let's face it, let's just put it out there. So this is why you have to heart discern everything, including what I'm saying. Yes, heart discern. Follow your own intelligence. And even if you're unsure of what your own thoughts are, when you continue to trust in yourself, when you continue to make space like we're doing here, you will become stronger. Yes, you will become able to hear the intuitive wisdom that is being whispered to you all the time. Yes, because you have made the space. This is one of the keys, dear ones. I am sharing keys. These are keys to harmony. These are keys to happiness. These are keys to set you free from the old paradigms that have limited all of humanity. Yes, all of humanity. Yes, you're looking at a person, you're looking at a soul who has walked in both worlds. I have seen many things, yep, frightening and beautiful all at the same time. And I'm here to tell you. Now, when I say I'm here to tell you, I'm telling you this from my soul. And my soul is connected to that God essence, just like your soul is connected to that God essence, that creator essence. Okay. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you I don't know it because I don't know it. But what I do know, I'm going to share what I do know. And I do know without a shadow of a doubt. You like that, huh? Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, because most of our insecurities are in the shadows. That's why I'm chuckling at that because, yeah, that's where our fears are. They're in the shadow. But when you are present, there's no more shadows. Yeah, I know that may be hard to believe. Yeah, there's no more shadows. Literally. Literally. So we are present, healing, acknowledging, aligning, remembering, all of that. We're doing it. So when you do it more often, guess what? All that stuff that you may have been holding on to, believing, saying, it disappears or it disappears. Yes, it disappears. It's no longer there. Are you kidding me? It is no longer there because we have made the space to be present. Yes, I am always going to tell you to be present. And you can also tune into my other channel, Empowered Sovereign, where I did 111 I am present 100% videos. I did 111 videos of being present because that's how important it is to be present. The more that you are present, I'm letting you know, all that stuff is gone. Now, if it's a lot of trauma, as I said, it will resurface. But because we are in the present moment, you will know how to handle it. Yes, you will know how to handle it. You know why? Because it's no longer in your existence when you are present. So whenever something resurfaces, you state your power. I am powerful beyond measure. And whatever trauma that is resurfacing, you are healed by my own divine presence. So it is. Wow, I even feel that. It's very powerful because you are powerful. And what did I say earlier? The powers that be do not want you to know your power. And it's so silly because the powers that be is a part of you, yet this part of the collective wants to dominate, control, manipulate. Yeah. And there's no need for that. That's the illusion. You see what I'm saying? It really is the illusion. So, dear ones, know that you are the bridge. Take notes. You are the bridge. You are bridging right now your own past experiences into this current reality of presence, of present day healing, aligning, and remembering. Yeah. Now, of course, there is always a select few, and that's okay because everybody is uniquely different. But there will be souls that will reach out to me, and there have been souls who have reached out to me. And we can have a session and we can discuss whatever needs to be discussed. Because the more that we have these conversations, the more that we heal, dear ones. This is the whole purpose. It's so that humanity can heal. Humanity can see itself. Humanity can feel itself. Yeah, that's a major one. Humanity needs to feel again. Yes, feel your own essence. Feel your own heart beating. Yeah, dear ones, we have to feel. If we don't feel, most of us, it's because some of us could be numb. We're numb to the world. We're numb to all of the tragedies and all of the violence, depending on where you live and depending on what you watch. Yeah, that's another one. Depending on the things you watch. If you watch a lot of violent stuff, you have that within your essence. And it makes you fearful. You see what I'm saying? It makes you in a fear mentality. So when you're in a fear mentality, dear ones, it's hard for you to manifest. It's hard for you to concentrate. It's hard for you to focus because your background dialogue is fear. So we are dismantling all of that. This is what humanity is learning about its energetic self. So you can continue healing. Yes, we can no longer, and I'm just sharing this, yes, add this to your notes. We can no longer consume garbage, that's food. We can no longer consume garbage through the eyes, meaning watching garbage, watching useless stuff that's not going to help us. It's just taking up space in your mind, making you more confused, making you more anxious, making you more fearful. So we can no longer do those things in the new cycle. You want to do things in the new cycle that are going to elevate you, uplift you, nourish you, relax you, excite you. Are you catching on to what I'm saying? So those are old habits, habitual habits that do not serve you, that keep you in a frequency of doubt and unworthiness and fear. Okay? Fear. Now, I have shared, and I'll share right now, that fear can work two ways. It can propel you forward, okay, because you're just sick and tired of being stuck, paralyzed in fear, okay? It could propel you, or it can paralyze you and you don't move. You stay there. You stay there because you are afraid. You're afraid of whatever, of moving forward, of talking, of speaking. You're afraid. So it can propel you or it can paralyze you. But eventually, when it paralyzes you, somebody's going to come into your life, an experience you may have, something you might see on TV, something will trigger you. Yeah, this is the whole design of this whole journey. Now, for some, it may be 20 years you've been paralyzed, like unconscious, seriously. But as I said, something will come into your life to trigger you out of that paralysis. Yeah. And then it's like you are awake. You may be awake just for that moment, but that's a moment where you can move forward. So there we go with fear. But in this podcast, we are learning to be present. Yes. Bridging the gap. Remember, you are the bridge. Yes, you are the bridge, dear ones. So it just depends. Do you have the courage to walk to the other side of the bridge so you can unite with this unknown new version of yourself? Yeah. For me, it sounds very exciting. Or do you want to look at the bridge? Don't cross the bridge. Just stay on the side watching. Yeah, this is what most of us do. We watch other people's dramas and we get lost in their dramas. Then we forget about our own self. And depending on how long you've been watching other people's dramas, it could be 20 years, it could be 30 years. This is what I'm talking about. In the midst of all of that, where are you? You see what I'm saying? You have lost your ability to see, to feel, to hear, your own intuitive wisdom. Yeah. And to know who and what you are because, for one, two, you're not grounded. You're not grounded in your own energetic energy that is powerful beyond measure, right? You're not grounded. You allow yourself to be carried in all directions. And when you do that, you don't know who you are. So again, I'm here to bring the present awareness so you can know who you are in every moment of the day. Yes, every second of the day. Know that you are powerful beyond measure. And if you feel yourself feeling like you're not grounded, then as I like to suggest, go walk out in nature. Stop what you're doing and go walk out in nature and then state, I am powerful beyond measure. And then have appreciation. Start having appreciation and gratitude for your walk and appreciating nature. Do that. Do that, dear ones. That's one of the gifts that God has placed upon us. but we didn't even know it was a gift. We didn't even realize that walking is a gift. Yeah, that's because we're unconscious of it. We don't even know the beautiful gifts that are surrounding us everywhere. We don't know it. But in this video, you are learning about the simple things, because that's a part of what I do, is I share the simple things that we miss. A simple smile. Smile more. Smile at your neighbor. Tell him thank you. Tell him or her, I appreciate you. Do that. See what happens. When you do that, you are connecting more with your heart. You're staying in a vibration of love. Yeah. And when we do these things every day, it changes you. Yeah, it does. So we are bridging the gap, because you are the bridge. You are that mighty bridge helping others to see their magnificence. So do you see your magnificence? I hope you do, because the treasure is you, beautiful ones. Don't forget that. Do not forget yourself. You cannot. You are a part of the equation. You are the equation. All right, beautiful ones. Continue to enjoy the rest of this beautiful new day. And it is beautiful because you, my dear, you are in it. You are a part of this beautiful tapestry of life. And I see you, but you have to see yourself. You have to see yourself in this equation of life. And once you do, then guess what? Game over. You have just elevated to another level in the matrix. As I said, you are the one, just like Neo in the Matrix. Yes, you are the one. And guess what? Since you have just leveled up, you can possibly fly now like he did in the Matrix 2. Yeah, he could actually fly in the Matrix 2. And guess what? So can you. Yes. When you can see, feel, hear, and know who and what you are. All right, beautiful ones. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Let love, let light lead the way infinitely for you today. All right, take care.